Yeah, there's my older brother, Scott. He's a college professor. Yeah, it was years ago. We were going to go on a sweat with a guy named George Goggle-Eye. I remember thinking, hey, my name's George Goggle-Eye. That's what I thought he looked like. Yeah. Okay, bonjour, ni anishinaabeg. Welcome back to Boozhoo NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. Okay, today I thought we'd discuss elders. Gichi anishinaabeg. Gichi anishinaabeg. Or else you can also say gichi eyae. Gichi eyae. But I like gichi anishinaabeg. Great person. You know, in our way, you really gotta honor the elders. I was just telling you, I went on a sweat once, and Scott tells me, you know, you're gonna sweat with a real elder. This guy's like 90 or something, and you know, he's kind of like Sitting Bull. And I was like, what do you mean? And he goes, well, you might ask him a question, but it takes him a long time to respond. You know, he's real traditional that way. And I said, okay. And and like Sitting Bull, he goes, well, you know, Sitting Bull got his name. His friends would come up and they'd be like, hey, Sitting Bull, what do you think about this or that? And then Sitting Bull would just sit there and think. It would take him a long time to respond. But then when he finally did, he was very wise. So that's why he got his name. He would sit before he'd, like, you know, shoot the bull. And then, so okay. Oh yeah, so we went on to sweat, right? And after the sweat, we had the greatest feast. Oh, let me tell you. There's chicken and wild rice, fried bread and blueberries. It was like 2 in the morning, right? And so I'm sitting here with this old timer, and I said to him, hey, George, you know, I was reading this book, and it said in the book the Ojibwe sweat lodge was little. You know, it could only fit like 3 or 4 people. And so I said, hey, George, what's up with that? Do we take after the Sioux people? After the Lakota? You know, because the Lakota sweats are huge. You could put your whole family in there. And then he didn't say nothing. And I was stuck. And I went, oh, that's right. He's like Sitting Bull. So I sat there. And I didn't want to start another conversation, right? You can't be like, hey, what's with that? And then go, yeah, how about them Vikings, huh? So we're sitting there. And it's like 2 in the morning. I'm thinking, I gotta go. But I sit there, you know, how often do you get to speak to these elders? And finally, after like, I mean, it was probably a minute, but it felt like, you know, 10. He goes, no, a lot of these people, they think we took our sweats from the Dakota. Nah. It was a Finlander on Anishinaabeg. And then Finlanders came over. They were like, hey, that's a nice sauna. You should come in ours, it's really big. Okay, well, that's all we have for today. The word is gichi anishinaabeg, elder. And if you want to learn something interesting, go talk to one of them. Okay, well, I better get going. You've been watching Boozhoo NANABOOZHOO, a podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. Okay, Gigawabamin Minua. I'll see you again. I know, isn't that cool? Old man.